This might be the most controversial stock I have ever looked at. It could be the most batshit crazy investment of all time. Or it could be awful. It might be a disaster. It might be the worst investment ever. We've got no idea because I've not done any form of valuation yet. So all I know about Palantir right this minute is that the CEO kind of looks like 𝗥𝗲𝗰𝗍𝗀𝗀 (𝗥𝗲𝗰𝗍𝗀) and that Jim Cramer has recently said we should sell, in which case this is likely the biggest bullish signal that you could have on any investment. Shout out to the inverse Cramer ETF. So welcome to 3 Minute Wednesday, where I look at a stock that I've never valued before. The 3 rules of 3 Minute Wednesdays are: it must be a new stock that I've not yet valued. I have 12 minutes to form my opinion, which I'll condense into 3 minutes for your viewing pleasure. The final outcome is either avoid or more research needed. You can't make a buy or sell decision based on a 12-minute valuation. Just my opinion. Roughly broken down, minute 1 is going to be reading the recent quarterly report. Minute 2 is going to be checking out news and other additional information to try and get an assessment on where they're trying to grow and how much growth potential is there. And then finally, a discounted cash flow model and my conclusions. For the discounted cash flow, I'm going to be using Stock MVP. Stock MVP is a fantastic site for getting earnings going back 20 years. You can also quickly see their growth of EBITDA and other things. One feature I particularly like about it is you can create custom ratio pages, so you can get the ratios that you deem the most important. You can create a custom layout, and so every time you open a stock, you'll see the most important ratios for you when you're valuing a business. But another really important feature that I love is the discounted cash flow calculator, so you can put in their earnings, their potential growth, and really quickly create a growth expectation and earnings expectation for the business at the current price and work out if a business is overvalued or undervalued. It's $20 a month, which might be quite steep for some of you, but if you've got a portfolio over 10K and you're really serious about investing, I do recommend it. If $20 a month is a little too much, you can use my code HJGWhite to get a 10% discount, which I worked out over the course of 30 years. If you invested those $2 in the S&P 500, you would have $4,500 at the end of the 30-year period. You're welcome. Okay, so let's go. Okay, let's start the clock. The first thing I'm going to look at is Palantir's site. So yeah, we build world-class software, data analytics, data-driven decision making. One thing that sometimes worries me is when they have these big buzzwords and then they don't follow up with a lot of use cases. Is there an investor relations page on here? Okay, here are the Q2 earnings results. Palantir Q2 2022 earnings. When are you expecting to be profitable? That's awesome. So they've answered this question. Optionality on expense and what we perceive to be macro conditions converging with product conditions allow us to kind of see what we think will be profitable company by 2025. They're projecting they'll be profitable by 2025. That means that they're going to be earning 28 million by 2025 for a company worth 30 billion. So yeah, that is not a very exciting projection. Long-term bag holder, plan to hold for 10 years plus. What's your 10-year plan for the future? Well, we built 5 products. I want to know what those 5 products are. Those of you who follow us know them well. Those of you who are following the war know some of our other products, even at a distance, and a number of products. We're going to continue to deploy these products. Extremely vague language. This is just not what I want to hear. You will have used them without knowing what they are or without even knowing how they've impacted your life. I think now I want to do a discounted cash flow analysis. Now that I know that the most exciting projection is that they'll be profitable by 2025. They've improved their revenue, their EBITDA by 100% in 1 year. Okay, so let's calculate something really quick here. The market capitalization is 31 billion. So let's just get a calculator up. 1,000 divided by 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.0000003% of the business. So if we times that by their annual revenue, so if you invest £1,000, how much of their annual revenue do you own? 2 billion in revenue. You own $64 of their revenue. To be honest, that's not the worst I've ever seen. I've seen much worse than that, but that's revenue. Like, that's the top figure. I mean, it actually says that they are making free cash flow, which I'm shocked by. Net income negative 43 million. Okay, so they are making a loss. Their net income is a loss. So the only other thing I want to know is their debt to equity. So let's do a discounted cash flow analysis. We've got 100% here. So let's just say that this is a major growth stock, and over the next 10 years, it's going to grow by 50% a year. And because it's AI and they have very little capital expense, let's just say that their capital expenditure only grows 15%, and populate it. And calculate notification, please check EBITDA, depreciation, amortization, other capital expenditure. You see, because they're losing money, it's very hard to do discounted cash flow analysis. And so currently it's overvalued by 100%. They're saying that in 2025, they're going to be profitable. So let's do 31,000. This is timesing their current earnings by 3. So now we've times their current earnings by 3. Let's give them 100% growth rate for the next 5 years. And then they are overvalued by 71%. The issue here with Palantir and with many of these super exciting tech companies is that you are investing at the wrong time. They don't need your cash right now. There's no more research needed here. Palantir is grossly overvalued, but I feel like all investors are saying this. This isn't anything new to you guys, but hopefully the statistics that I've just punched in here help you visualize it. Hopefully this all fits into 3 minutes. And also, by the way, if you want to see more of these videos, click subscribe and hit that notification bell. And anything else I want to say, leave a comment for what you'd like me to review next week. Cool. I'm gonna have a cup of tea.